All right, the mic is hot. We are live with another one, guys. Live with another one, guys. Welcome to the channel. This is OE MMA TV. I'm your host, OE. Like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. It takes minimal effort to give me the thumbs up, so you might as well do it. Thank you for supporting independent MMA media. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate each and every one of you guys. This is your channel, like I always say. The only channel where the fans come first, not last. All right, guys, let's go straight into the topic of discussion, guys. And the topic of discussion today is Jamal Hill. If it can't get any worse, guys, Jamal Hill is getting prepared to collect his 2025 award for Crash Out of the Year back to back 2024 and 2025. Jamal Hill, let's give him a round of applause. Let's give Jamal Hill a round of applause, guys. After Jamal Hill, suffered a loss against Khalil Roundtree, he finds himself on a losing streak. And he gets on his YouTube channel, like he always does. And he begins to humbly make excuses. Okay. He tells his fans that he promises to do better. Apparently, Jamal Hill has been dealing with weight issues. Apparently, Jamal Hill admits that he didn't have a great diet for his last training camps. Apparently, Jamal Hill weighed 265 pounds prior to him preparing himself to go into camp for that Khalil Roundtree fight. Apparently, he was having weight issues. He was having diet issues. And he admits it. He admits that he has to do better. He admits that Jamal Hill has to do better. Moonbean Ice Cream. That's what's up, man. Like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. Takes minimal effort to give me the thumbs up, so you might as well do it, guys. Topic of discussion today is Jamal Hill and his candidacy for 2025 Crash Out of the Year, guys. Jamal Hill came up with so many excuses. I don't even know what to say about the guy, to be honest with you. The guy talks about diet issues, weight issues, injury issues, relationship issues. I mean, the guy is talking about just a whole bunch of different things that affected him going into this Khalil Roundtree fight. Jamal Hill still doesn't want to admit to himself that his career is basically over. Honestly, guys. Honest to God. Who gives a shit about Jamal Hill? The next fight that I do want to see, actually, right now, it'll be a perfect fight for the UFC to put this together, is Reyes. And I'm talking about Dominic Reyes versus Jamal Hill. They need to book that fight ASAP. They need to book it right now, actually. Dominic Reyes is on a winning streak. I believe he's on a 3 to 4 fight winning streak. Put him against Jamal Hill. He's on a three fight losing streak. I think that's a good look. One more loss for Jamal Hill, and he's going to find himself fighting in another organization. But as it stands right now, I mean, he's the number one candidate, guys. Jamal Hill is the #1 candidate right now in the running for 2025 Crash Out of the Year. And if he wins, that's back-to-back years of Crash Out of the Year. I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest. I really don't know what to say about Jamal Hill, man. I really don't know what to say about the guy. I mean, in the beginning of his career, I liked the guy. I thought he was relatable, right? In my opinion, he wasn't talking as much. He wasn't talking like cocky, this cocky person who thinks highly of himself. He wasn't talking like that in the beginning of his career. In the beginning of his career, actually, he wasn't talking at all. It wasn't up. It wasn't up until he started opening up his mouth on his YouTube channel that I actually started noticing that Jamal Hill is a crash out waiting to happen. Okay, Jamal Hill's last win. Okay, Jamal Hill's last win was against his brother in Thanksgiving. Okay, knocking his teeth down his throat. that is Jamal Hill's last win. Okay, and even that was a loss. Okay. Let me read some of these chats right here. Terry Green says, "Yo," I say, "What up? How you doing, man?" Dean is back on the chat twice today. How you doing, Dean? What's up? Hopefully you having a good one. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the chat, guys. Like and subscribe, and thank you for supporting the channel. Topic of discussion today is Jamal Hill being the #1 candidate for Crash Out of the Year for 2025. He already won the award for 2024, which would make him back-to-back years award winner for Crash Out of the Year. Okay, so yeah, right now we're just waiting patiently to see how this year, ends up, going about. To be honest with you, I honestly think Jamal Hill has always been overrated, in my opinion. I've never thought highly of Jamal Hill. Never. I've already repeatedly said this. I think Jamal Hill, at best, is a street fighter. Okay? At best, he's a street fighter. He's no mixed martial arts fighter, in my opinion. The guy literally, drags his feet like it's a like literally like it's a tail. Okay? Jamal Hill has virtually no footwork. Okay? And he just throws punches. He just throws punches and hopes to land. That is facts, guys. Pure facts. I mean, there's nothing exciting about Jamal Hill, man. There really isn't. And now that he has the privilege to have a YouTube channel, the guy gets on there, every chance that he gets, and he just starts talking his mind. The guy starts talking about weight issues, diet issues, relationship issues, world issues, political issues. The guy gets on there and starts talking up a storm about everything besides the actual truth, which is Jamal Hill is just not good. He's just not. And I would love to see Dominic Reyes versus Jamal Hill. I think they need to book that fight. I think the UFC needs to book that sooner than later. However, the UFC never does what the fans want. They really never do. Perfect example. Look at the Ultimate Fighter. I keep bringing this up, and I'm gonna die on this motherfucking hill because I could give a shit, guys. Honestly, I'm a true fan of the UFC. Been watching it since 2003. Been a fan since then. Okay, and I literally been watching the ups and downs of this sport. And right now, we're on a just downward trajectory. Honestly, just downward. Because the product that the UFC is giving us is subpar at best. Subpar at best. They remind me of boxing events where the main event is really what you're waiting for, and then the rest of the card, the prelims, is just terrible. Names that you never even heard of before. I look at a guy like Jamal Hill, and I just tell myself, um, one more loss and you're out of the UFC, man. Honestly, I mean, don't get me wrong, he's lost against top competition, but it's just like Jamal Hill's. After Jamal Hill said he hasn't even since he's gotten the injury to his Achilles heel, he hasn't been able to run or nor jog, which tells me, guy, your career is over, man. If you can't get yourself into good shape, then it's over, my guy. It is over. What up? Long time Retro Flux. What's going on? Welcome back to the chat. Haven't seen you in a while. Welcome back. This is your channel, so you already know this is your home. You know, you could come in and out anytime you want to. But I'm glad to see you here. Hopefully you're doing well, man. Blessings to you and yours. Topic of discussion today is Jamal Hill and his candidacy for, you know, number one crash out of the year for 2025, guys. Okay. I don't see anybody else who's gonna take this right now. He's ahead by a crazy amount. I'm just gonna be honest. He's ahead about about a crazy amount. I mean, the second candidate of crash out of the year is Yair Rodriguez, but he's definitely chilled out since then. Number three crash out of the year, and actually, pretty soon, he's gonna take Yair Rodriguez's spot at number two. Will have to be Brendan Schaub, guys. Brendan Schaub is definitely number two or number three crash out of the year. But right now, nobody beats Jamal Hill. Nobody beats that guy. I mean, you know, Thanksgiving is right around the corner, and I honestly think there will be another civil case against Jamal Hill during Thanksgiving, especially during these down moments in his career. You know, he needs to do something, you know, drastic. I feel bad for the man. You feel bad for which man? Jamal Hill? I don't feel bad for him at all. I don't feel bad for a guy who bullies people over Thanksgiving dinner. You know what I mean? I really don't. I really don't feel sorry for a guy who takes advantage of people who are not mixed martial arts fighters. All right. If you train mixed martial arts and you're a professional athlete and you consider yourself a professional athlete, okay, then you shouldn't be out here fighting, you know, normal people. You shouldn't be out here fighting your brother over Thanksgiving dinner because the bacon wasn't cooked well enough to your fucking liking. Okay? It's ridiculous. So when it comes to Jamal Hill, man, I really want to see Dominic Reyes versus Jamal Hill. Book that fight. The UFC needs to do that. But like I said, the UFC doesn't know what they're doing. I already mentioned, look at the Ultimate Fighter. Like I said, I would die on that hill. The Ultimate Fighter is a dying show. You need to pop out your AEDs to revive the damn fucking show. Look at the damn show is dead. It's dead. And it's a sad story right now because that's a great outlet for UFC, or not UFC, but mixed martial arts fighters in general, you know, to make it into a league like the UFC. But unfortunately, this outlet is going to close. The door is closing for the Ultimate Fighter. It really is. Nobody is watching the Ultimate Fighter show, and definitely nobody's going to pay ESPN to watch the Ultimate Fighter. Nobody's going to watch that. Nobody wants to see Chael Sonnen in DC as the Ultimate Fighter coaches. Who the fuck is making these decisions? The UFC needs to call me up. I need to have a sit down with the UFC, and we need to have a conversation on who the hell is making these decisions and who the hell is okaying these decisions. Who are the people who are okaying these decisions moving forward? I need to know. I need to be on a need to know basis. Fair Reyes on the comeback. They should change the entire show. My point exactly, guys. My point exactly. The Ultimate Fighter show is in shambles. The heavyweight division is in shambles. The women's bantamweight division is in shambles. I mean, the product that the UFC is giving us is subpar. I don't know what to say about the UFC. They're lucky that I'm right here even talking about them right now because I'm such a huge fan. And the whole debacle with Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall, and now Tom Aspinall is left with a division that's literally, nobody's there. Who's going to fight? Curtis Blades? I mean, it's ridiculous, guys. I mean, who is Tom Aspinall going to fight? Waldo Cortez Acosta? There's nobody exciting at the heavyweight division right now. The UFC is just they give me a migraine. They really give me a migraine, and they should definitely change the whole Ultimate Fighter show. They should change the whole show. Okay, make it more exciting. Make it more exciting, man. Have actual coaches that are actually competitors. I'm just at a loss for words at this point when it comes to the UFC and the decision making. Okay. I look at these cards coming up this summer, like UFC 318, UFC 319. I look at these cards and I'm just telling myself, man, I really hope it stays intact. I really hope these cards stay intact because I'm just being honest. A lot of these cards are top heavy, and if any of those main event, main card fights fall off, the card is in shambles. Max Holloway, I love Max Holloway. I love Max Holloway and I love Dustin Poirier. But I mean, the UFC couldn't do something better. Why did they book Dustin Poirier and Max Holloway? I like both of those guys. It's gonna be an exciting fight. The last fight that they had, it was very exciting. But I mean, we already saw that fight twice before. I mean, we could have seen Max Holloway fight somebody else. We could have seen Dustin Poirier fight somebody else. Like, I don't know what they're doing, guys. I really don't. Let me read some of these comments on these chats. I was shouting this from the rooftops. It was never Jones' fault that he didn't fight Tom. He had leverage because the heavyweight division was trash and he used it. Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't if they were in his shoes? I agree with you, Retroflex. I agree with you wholeheartedly. I really do. I do believe that John Jones was definitely looking for an opportunity. He definitely was, and he went out to the heavyweight division and beat the number one contender at that time, which was Ciryl Gane. Beat him fairly quickly. Okay, didn't even have to use his full mixed martial arts game to beat him. Okay, and I mean, when it comes to John Jones, I wish he would have retired back after he beat Stipe Miocic, the dead body in Stipe Miocic, but unfortunately he didn't retire then. But it's okay. It's okay. He eventually did retire, and we find ourselves now with a heavyweight division that's in shambles. We find ourselves with a champion in Tom Aspinall that really cannot build a legacy off of anybody in that division. I'm sorry, the top 5 fighters in that division is horrible, guys. We got Ciryl Gane, Alexander Volkov, Sergey Pavlovich, Curtis Blades, Jailton Almeida, and Waldo Acosta. I mean, it doesn't say enough, guys. I mean, the heavyweight division is in fucking shambles. It really is. People should have been calling out the UFC for an underdeveloped heavyweight division rather than that shitty petition and calling Jones a duck. Retro Flux, I agree with you. I agree with you. I really do. I mean, the petition on John Jones was ridiculous. You know what I mean? It was funny to see it, to see how many people actually signed the petition. But honestly, they need to make a new petition on the UFC. Honestly, they need to make a new petition putting out, basically that the UFC is giving us subpar product. You know what I mean? We spend. It's funny because over the years, as a UFC fan, over the years, it's been getting slowly. It's been progressively getting more and more expensive to be a UFC fan. You have to pay for ESPN Plus. You have to pay ESPN Plus just to order the pay-per-views. If you want to watch any of the fights, you gotta have UFC Fight Pass. You have to pay for that as well. Okay, you have to pay for the pay-per-views in general. There's a lot of things that you have to pay for in general to be a UFC fan, and it's ridiculous at this point. At this point, everywhere you look, they're trying to just take money from you. It's fucking ridiculous. You know what I mean? And if we're gonna have a sport like that, if you're gonna consider yourself a sport, comparing yourselves to the NFL, to the NBA, to the NHL, and to the NBA, MLB, I'm sorry, my guy, you're gonna have to do better. The UFC is gonna have to do better as an organization. Honestly, I'm just being real. All right, the ticket prices are atrocious. Okay, I'm not gonna pay $1,000 for nosebleed seats that I'm basically sitting outside, okay, in the parking lot waiting for the fucking bus with these fucking nosebleed seats. Okay, it's ridiculous. It's shameful, especially for the true fans, that who help the sport get to where it is. Okay, it's ridiculous at this point, man. Dean, Gogeta versus Black Frieza. I think Gogeta got it. Dana trying to make UFC like Slap. Retro Flux. I hope he doesn't. I hope he doesn't make anything. I hope he doesn't even try to compare UFC to Slap, because Slap organization is a joke. The Slap organization is a joke. It's an organization where a group of guys can go, have a couple of drinks and laugh at the people getting smacked. That's literally what that organization is about. A bunch of millionaires sitting around watching people get smacked, you know what I mean, for a laugh and a smile. That organization is a fucking joke. Dana White is definitely checked out. The UFC itself is definitely checked out. They don't give a shit about their fans. They outpricing their fans, price gouging the tickets and the pay-per-views. It's fucking atrocious. They're giving us subpar fucking cards, okay, that you have to literally pray every single day that the event stays intact. Because if it doesn't, oh my God, the event is in shambles. Okay? And then we have a pound for pound list that doesn't even make fucking sense. All right? So much fucking recency bias. It's unbelievable. All right, we have fans out here that literally don't even know what they're fucking talking about, don't even know what they're watching, but yet they're here clapping and they're rooting for the UFC, thinking that the UFC is giving them everything that they can give them, and they feel privileged. When in reality, my guy, they're giving you shit product. Let me read some of these comments. Mars back on the chat. He is back on the chat. This is your home, Mars. Twice in one day. I didn't even have to call out the APB for your ass. Give Mars a round of applause for giving us his 2 appearances in one day. All right, that is unbelievable. I have the Russian link. Oh man, that's what's up. What do you think about Paddy versus Ilya? Look, Retro Flux. That is a fight that's going to be exciting. However, that is not the fight that needs to be made. Okay, the UFC needs to do their due diligence and get Arman in that fight against Ilya Topuria, because Arman is that next guy. Okay, he was the #1 contender prior to Charles Oliveira, in my opinion. I think he should have been the one fighting Ilya Topuria for that belt. But unfortunately, we didn't get that. So I think the next fight to make is Arman versus Ilya Topuria, and then whoever wins that fight fights, Paddy the Baddy, after Paddy the Baddy fights Justin Gaethje, because I believe that fight is booked. I'm thinking of stopping with MMA, dude. Retro Flux, don't stop. Do not stop. All right, if you stop, that's just gonna give these casual fans the privilege to think that they actually are true fans. Okay, so don't quit. Don't quit on the UFC. Don't quit on mixed martial arts. Okay. Dana doesn't know how to cook cards anymore. He should now cook a restraining. Open a restaurant. That's probably what you meant. Man, when it comes to Dana White, honestly, he's checked out, guys. He could care less about what's going on in the UFC. He was ducking and dodging the media, like Floyd Mayweather, you know what I mean, was ducking and dodging punches. Okay? And now all of a sudden he's finally making his UFC appearances. Now that John Jones is finally retired and he's in the clear, he doesn't have to defend the guy. Yeah, man, that's what's going on right now. Armin has not title shot. Tom didn't get a title shot. Mosvar didn't get a title shot. Ilya versus Islam didn't happen. It's unfortunate. Like I said, the UFC doesn't know what they're doing. The UFC doesn't know what they're doing. If I'm the UFC, like I said, I'm booking Jamal Hill versus Dominic Reyes. That's a fight that needs to happen, and it needs to happen sooner than later. Okay, and then the next fight that I'm making is Ilya Topuria versus Armin. That's a fight that needs to happen. It needs to be booked this year, hopefully around the September to December time frame. We could get that fight because that fight needs to happen sooner than later. Also, another fight that needs to happen is Tom Aspinall against anybody. Hell, bring Alex Pereira to the heavyweight division and make something exciting in that division because the heavyweight division is in shambles. All right, so that's another fight that needs to happen. What else? Possibly we need to see Alexander Pantoja versus Merab. That's a possible fight that can happen sooner than later. I mean, there's a lot of fights out there that the UFC needs to make, but they're not doing their due diligence. They don't want to give us the product that we deserve. Okay, as true fans, they don't want to give us that. They want to give us subpar products, and they want us clapping and being happy for the subpar product that they're giving us. Shit product that they're giving us. Okay. Now they're going to ask Dana about Conor. Sun God, I don't know why they're going to ask about Conor because Conor is busy catching cases in bathroom stalls. Okay, Conor is busy, doing multitude of lines. Okay, that have made a reputation of broken promises. Definitely, where have I seen this before? We already seen this before, guys. It's rinse and repeat when it comes to Dana White and the UFC. Difference between KFC and UFC. KFC never disappoints. Dean, that was a good one, and I agree with you. KFC never disappoints, especially when we're talking about the mashed potatoes. Okay. I know boxing fights fall through in boxing. I mean, right now, UFC is doing a good job of mimicking the boxing organizations. If you look at a lot of these cards, they're starting to look like boxing events where you don't know not one person on the undercard, but the only exciting thing that you're waiting for is the main card, the main event of the evening. And it's a sad story. It really is. It's a sad story. Because like I said, the UFC is I don't know what they're doing. Like I've said this before and I'll say it again. I would love to sit down with the people who are making these decisions. I would like to look at them straight in the eye and ask them these questions. First of all, I would start off with this question right off the bat. Who the hell is making these decisions? That's the first question. Second question would be, okay, who is okaying these decisions? That'd be the second question. And then the third question is, why the fuck hasn't the UFC fired you guys? Because the decisions you guys are making, you deserve to be fired. Honestly. You deserve it. I don't feel sorry for shit. You deserve to be fired. You really do. You really do. Honestly, guys. That's how Dustin Card feels. That's how the Dustin Card feels. Sun God, my point exactly. I already said this prior. I don't have no idea why the UFC booked Dustin Poirier versus Max Holloway when both men, they could fight somebody else. Max Holloway could fight somebody else. Why is he fighting a retired Dustin Poirier where he's going to retire right after this fight? Dustin Poirier could have fought somebody else. We could have seen Max Holloway versus Dan Hooker. Tell me that's not an exciting fight. We could have seen that. But instead, the UFC wants to give us Max Holloway and Dustin Poirier for the third fucking time. Third time, guys. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. UFC should hire you, Mr. OE. They need you if they want to continue the business. Dean, I could not disagree with you. I agree with you wholeheartedly. The UFC needs to phone me. They need to call me. We need to have more than one conversation. All right, we need to have a multitude of conversations and be in a consensus moving forward with the decision making. All right. There's some exciting things that could happen moving forward. I have great ideas for the Ultimate Fighter. I have way better ideas than having Daniel Cormier and DC, two retired fighters, as Ultimate Fighter coaches. I have great ideas, better ideas than that. I can tell you that much. He wants legends only. Max versus Dan. Damn, you're cooking. Retro Flux. What am I telling you right now? I'm telling you right now that would have been a fight to make. Okay, you don't even need a book. You don't even need to put that as a pay-per-view. Okay, you really don't. You don't even need to put that as a main event. That card, I mean, that fight sells itself. Dan Hooker versus Max Holloway. Come on now, guys. That's exciting. That is fun. Now that's a fight the UFC should have booked, but unfortunately they're not doing their due diligence. It's like there's one or two fights selling each card, but the rest of the matchups I don't really care about. Mars, that's the reason why I say a lot of the UFC events in 2025 are mimicking boxing events. That's the main reason why I'm saying that, because when I used to watch boxing events, literally I knew nobody on the undercard. Everybody was waiting for the main event. Everybody was waiting for the two main guys. And you will have to wait damn near 4 to 5 hours just to see the main event. And the main event started at 2 a.m. Imagine that. And that's basically what the UFC product is being developed into. But tell me, bro, why don't people want to see Movsar versus Alex? Look, Retro Flux, I don't think it's the people. Okay, I honestly don't think it's the people, because if you're talking about the people, you're talking about me. Okay, and I represent the people. All right, and from my perspective, we want to see that fight. I want to see Movsar versus Alex. That's a fight to make. Movsar is an undefeated fighter. He's deserving to fight Alex for that gold. Don't know why Movsar is being booked to fight somebody else coming from another organization. I have no idea why that's happening. But unfortunately, like I said, the UFC is doing what they want to do. And right now, what they want to do is give us shit product. That's exactly what they want to do. Okay? But as far as me, I want to watch that fight. That's the fight to make. Movsar versus Alex. That's the fight that they needed to make, but unfortunately, they're not making it. It's a sad story. Nate Diaz versus Mighty Mouse. Dean, what are you telling me right now? That is an imaginary fight that will never happen. I like Nate Diaz. That is the fight to make. I honestly agree with you. The rightful number one contender. When does the UFC wake up and see that hardcore fans bring value as well, and we should get some fights we want? Not every fight is for the casuals. As of right now, every fight is for the casuals, guys. As of right now, where we stand, every fight is for the casuals. That's it. They're gonna give us they're gonna continue giving us subpar product. I'm gonna continue getting on my on this YouTube channel that you guys are building, because this is the only channel where the fans come first, not last. Okay, so I'm gonna keep getting on here, and I'm gonna keep speaking about it. I'm gonna keep speaking my mind about it, because God honest truth, guys. God honest truth. The UFC is not looking too hot right now, especially for their hardcore fans. Is just not. It's not looking appealing. 2025 has been a letdown. It's like they want us to move on from UFC to Power Slap. Sun God, I would never move on to Power Slap. I'm just being honest. Power Slap is a damn joke. That whole organization is a joke. I've watched that I watched an event from Power Slap and I could not stop laughing. Literally, I could not stop laughing because I mean, CTE guaranteed, guys. CTE guaranteed. Um, I like Nate Diaz smoking before a fight. Just ridiculous. I like Nate Diaz too, man. The guy is funny. Sean versus Cheeto when Marab was there. Oh man. What is going on? I'm telling you, man, what is going on? I am telling you. And that is not the norm because before I would look forward to the prelims, for example, but now I find myself skipping them more often than not. Mars, I find myself literally when I'm doing the UFC fight predictions. You don't know how hard it is to do UFC fight predictions when you can't even find videos on these mixed martial arts fighters. A lot of these, prelim guys, it's hard to find them. It's hard to find any videos on them. Honestly, it's fucking getting out of control. Some of these guys, you can't even find a fucking picture of them. It's insane, man. The UFC, I don't know what they're doing. I really don't know what they're doing. They're giving us subpar product, and not only that, but they're signing people who honestly, they're not really mixed martial arts. They don't have a mixed martial arts game, overall game. You know what I mean? Now it's like either you're a good striker and that's it, or you're a good submission artist and that's it. It's just I don't know what to say. They would never silence OE MMA TV. So like and subscribe. Thank you, Sun God. I really appreciate that, guys. I really appreciate that. Really do, man. Like I always say, man, this is your channel, guys. You guys are building this community. I am just the pilot. I'm just guiding this channel as you guys continuously build it. And I'm gonna be here for it. I'm gonna be here for it. I am going to talk my mind, and I'm gonna bring up topics that nobody else brings up. All right, and that is factual. And as of right now, Jamal Hill is the number one candidate for 2025 Crash Out of the Year, guys. Okay, that is factual. And the UFC and Dana White is checked out. That is factual. And the product that the UFC is giving us is not even subpar. It's shit in the toilet, about to be flushed. That's the product that the UFC is giving us. Factual. And I'm here to talk about it. Let me see. It's summer and still UFC is turning cold day by day. I'm telling you right now, it's a cold dish. It's a cold dish that they're serving to their fans. It's a sad product. I'll tell you that much. Put him on Charles. Oh my God, no. And it's not like there aren't good matchups to be made, but they aren't happening. They just don't want to do it. Honestly, guys, they just don't want to do it. The UFC just doesn't want to give us the product that we deserve. All right, like I said, I've been watching the UFC since 2003. I know what consists of a good card. I know what consists of a bad card, and I know what consists of a really, really great card. And right now in 2025, we literally have just multiple cards that just didn't deliver. Okay, and then we had cards that on paper look like shit, and then all of a sudden it delivers. All right. And then we had some cards fall apart. For example, UFC Seattle. That whole card was in shambles. 9 fighters literally fell out of that card. The whole event was going to be scrapped. Luckily, it stood intact. But UFC Seattle was in shambles. Okay? And 2025 has been in shambles in general. So hopefully the UFC gets it together. Okay, hopefully. Exactly, matchups are not happening. They want to spread their product through the whole year. Did Hunter fall on his head? So UFC is delivering quantity versus quality. That's exactly what's happening. That's exactly what's happening, and the fighters as well. I mean, have you guys noticed that a lot of these fighters are not even that great? A lot of these fighters that the UFC are finding and signing, they're not that good. You know what I mean? To nowadays to be a mixed martial arts fighter and get signed to the UFC is not that hard. It just really isn't. I mean, they're signing people daily, basically. and the product is suffering. The product is suffering because of it. It really is. It's a sad story. Um, I don't know what the UFC is going to do. I really don't. They signed CM Punk. I mean, not only did they sign CM Punk, but they paid him very, very well. They paid CM Punk very, very well, which is disgusting in my opinion because they have a lot of other fighters on the UFC roster that deserve to get paid just as well as CM Punk. CM Punk has done nothing for the mixed martial arts community. Okay? Has done fucking nothing to deserve a paycheck like he has gotten from the UFC. So in my opinion, the UFC and Dana White are doing a disservice to their mixed martial arts fighters and their rosters. If you're going to pay CM Punk the amount of money that you paid him to do what he did in that octagon, then you need to reevaluate UFC fighter pay in general. Holy shit. Unbelievable. Uh, Robert is fighting soon. Exactly. RDR, what do you think? That's going to be a terrific fight. That's going to be a terrific fight. I'm so happy that RDR, he ends up, beating, that subpar wrestler. Don't even want to say his name because he's on his podcast thinking so highly of himself. I don't even need to say his name. Okay. But when it comes to RDR, I think he's going to make it a good fight. But I do think Robert Whitaker goes in there and gets the W. I think especially after losing against, Chimaev, I think Robert Whitaker is looking to get his name back into the winner column. I don't want to see Rob lose, man. I don't think he will. I don't think he will. I think Robert Whitaker is going to beat RDR. CM Punk should be WWE. Pays more to be a Nelk boy than a fighter. Crazy. That is crazy, son God, and you're absolutely correct. Unfortunately, you're not lying when you make that statement. You're not lying. People forget, man. RDR nullified Bo. Bo Nickel, man, I did not want to say that guy's name. I fucking hate that guy. I don't like Bo Nickel. I just don't. You know what I mean? I think if I was to meet that guy, I don't think me and him would get along. I'm just being honest. He's the type of person who thinks too highly of himself. Okay, you'll sit there and have a conversation about the moon or something like that, and then all of a sudden he'll find a way to compare the universe and the moon to himself. That's the type of fucking person that Bo Nickel is. And I was so happy to see RDR, beat the shit out of Bo. You know what I mean? Basically had Bo looking like Anthony Smith, the dead body and Anthony Smith, and crumbled to the ground in fetal position. I was so happy to see that. Honestly. So happy. Boar Hill, pick one to hang out with for 24 hours. Guys, Sun God. If I had to chill with any of those guys for 24 hours, I think I wouldn't make it, guys. Okay. I think honestly, I would have to be, collected, okay, and put in a straight jacket, okay, because after that, after chilling with those two individuals, I think I'll go berserk, honestly. Just all the excuses that Jamal Hill can make, he'll try to explain that to me, and then all the glazing that Bo Nickel would do about himself, I wouldn't be able to take it. I would not be able to take the nonsense from either one of those guys. Honestly, guys. Honestly. But anyways, guys, it's been a great live. I really appreciate each and every one of you guys. I'm most likely going to go live tomorrow morning, early in the morning. All right, let me read this last chat. Instead of CM Punk, they should have collaborated with some animes like DBZ or Bake. I agree with you. What do you think people are not getting on the Pantoja fan base? I'm not sure. I'm not sure why they're not getting in the Pantoja fan base. You know what I mean? I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Pantoja. I think honestly, it's just the UFC doesn't do their due diligence in marketing their fighters, and in my opinion, they should be marketing the flyweight division, especially with the flyweight division not being as marketable as the other, divisions. They should definitely do their due diligence in that. Put Alexander Pantoja in some commercials. Do something. You know what I mean, to put his face out there. Make that division and a name or something. But the UFC, they're not going to do that. Like I said, subpar product. He's doing something special that seems to be going under the radar. He is. He's definitely going under the radar, and it's a sad story because he's never going to get the recognition that he deserves. Point blank. Period. Look at what happened. Uh, look at what happened to Mighty Mouse. He's just getting, he's just getting the flowers that he deserves later on in his career, and it's a sad story. That's the way it goes. But anyways, guys, like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. It takes minimal effort to give me the thumbs up, so you might as well do it. Thank you for supporting independent MMA media, man. I really appreciate you guys. The only channel where the fans come first, not last. All right, and this is your channel, guys. Like I always say, I'm just the pilot. I'm just guiding this channel as you guys keep building this community. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you. Like and subscribe. Click that bell notification so it keeps us all connected in this beautiful community that you guys are building. I'm out of here, guys. Until next time, peace. One love.